I'm Renee, this is Bethel Big Talk, and I'm joined here by Jose Ignacio Morales. He's a tennis player here, he's a fashion killer, and he is among the handful of Latinos here on campus.
Yes.
So getting him in the building is a big deal. Jose, how are you, bro?
I'm good, man.
How's life?
Good.
It's cool?
Good. It's going great.
Sweet.
Yes.
What are the plans for today? What's your schedule look like?
My schedule, so I work in housekeeping actually.
Okay.
So I work for 3 hours in the morning, then I go to class, then I go to play tennis for a couple hours,
Right.
and
let me just say one thing, because I think that's super important. I think sometimes, like, the role of a student athlete maybe gets glamorized a little bit. Like, you look at it and you go like, oh, you get the free gear, you get the audience, you get, people watching you. But I think what you don't get is, like, well, you're working housekeeping.
yeah.
I'm working 2 jobs, We
same.
the scholarships are there, they're helping, but we still got to find out a way to pay the rest, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, being a student athlete is not like being a professional athlete.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
they don't pay you to play the sport; they pay you to go to school, and yeah, I mean, it's not as glamorous as some people make it seem.
Exactly.
Especially at a smaller school like this.
Yeah.
So,
Where it's small enough to we have recognition throughout the campus,
yeah.
but it's not like on a serious community or citywide basis, I would
Yeah.
say. But you're training
Yeah.
preseason.
Preseason. Yeah.
Okay.
Post and preseason because we have 2 seasons, so we have fall and spring, and right now I'm training for the spring, basically because, and it's optional really for the tennis team. We don't have a set schedule
Right.
in the winter,
Okay.
so it's up to you basically how much you want to practice, how much you want to go to the weight room and everything. So
Cool. And what season is more important? Is if there is one?
the fall,
The fall.
yeah.
Okay.
The fall. In the fall, we have our conference games and our conference matches and our conference tournament.
Okay.
But in the spring, it's decided if we go to regionals and nationals and all that for NCCAA.
Cool.
Yeah.
So nothing super intense, manageable, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you like your schedule?
I like my schedule. Yeah, it's pretty
good.
packed with trying to fit like 2 or 3 hours of tennis a day or something like that, and like with classes, homework, work, and everything.
Right.
It's kind of hectic, but
Right. Okay, so you're playing tennis. It's obviously at a competitive level. When you're not, you're in the classes, you're studying, you're doing your homework.
Mhm.
What classes are you taking? What's your field of study?
so I'm a business administration major.
Okay.
And I have a marketing minor. I'm doing mostly business classes right now. I already got my marketing minor out of the way last year. So my classes are management finance, computer apps. What else do I have?
It's okay. You don't need to go through all of them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, manageable.
Yeah. The classes are classes that I like. I usually have a tough time with gen eds because it's not something that I want to take.
I feel you. I'm in psychology right now, and I'm like trying to keep up.
Yeah, you're trying to keep up with something that you're not passionate about, and it's like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of like it sucks too because you know exactly what you want to get into. I think towards the end of college,
Yeah.
or at least a good majority do,
Yeah.
and then but you still have to fulfill those requirements at the end of the day to get the diploma.
Yeah.
So.
And so, for example, for me, I'm terrible at science.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if I'm terrible, but I just don't like it at all.
Right.
And so
I'm the same way, bro.
I pushed my science to my last semester of college, so I know that next semester is going to be a pain to have to take a science and.
Yeah. No, I did the same thing with my science.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one thing that I have to address. You're not from around here.
No.
You're from Quito,
I'm from Quito.
Ecuador.
Ecuador. Yes.
Give us a little bit of insight about how insanely different Mishawaka, Indiana is from Quito, Ecuador, and a little bit of the story of how you went from, a place like that to somewhere like here.
Okay. So Quito, it's funny because a lot of people that come to Mishawaka that are from Indiana, from smaller towns in Indiana, are like, oh, there's everything to do in Mishawaka. It's a huge city. It's blah blah. Blah. You can always do something. And then Quito is a place where there's 2 million people, where there's actually always something to do and something open, something going on. And so to me, Mishawaka is a very small town.
Right.
Even though Notre Dame's here and all those things, I think that this is very small compared to my city.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Because there's no traffic, there's no craziness in every single place that you go to, there's no lines, you know?
Yeah.
So
there's actually things in Quito to go physically do, and it's not just like a restaurant or like the bigger school, Notre Dame down the street.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for my senior year of high school, I came to, randomly, was picked by a family in Indiana to come as an exchange student.
Oh, wow.
In Peru, Indiana.
And how did you get selected to do that?
I went through a program, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I would advise that to people that are from the United States to go do that in a different country, you know?
Right.
Because it's an awesome experience. You go to, like, your senior year, you're in a different country, you learn about a different culture, and it was just an amazing opportunity. And even more amazing than that was that I played in the tennis team at the high school, and was recruited by a couple schools, and was looking around to stay for college. Yeah. And that's how I ended up here.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool story. Yeah. And looking back on it now, you're a senior. Mm-hmm. You're coming, to graduation.
Yeah.
Do you miss Quito as much as you used to when you first came here?
I miss it more now than I used to before. And that's because the longer you're here, the more you appreciate the things that you didn't appreciate when you just got here. Because when I just got here in my senior year of high school and my first year of college, I was trying to get away from Quito. I was trying to get away from the craziness and the people and all the high school things that I used to, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And when you get here, and then after you're here for a while, you're like, oh, I miss those things. I miss the big city. So now that I'm here and that I want to stay here, I'm like, I want to live in Chicago. I want to live in New York. I don't know, because I miss the big city feeling that I used to hate 4 years ago.
And I think that's something that we share. It's like, we both come from a big city.
Yeah.
You from Quito, me from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And you grow up in a big city, you take it for granted. You think like, I want to get out, I want to go see this, I want to go see that. You're a city boy. But then you get to a life that's kind of a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking to yourself, man, I kind of miss the traffic of, Quito or of LA. I kind of miss this, I miss that.
For sure.
Yeah.